Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you are new. Today's a little bit different of a video than I typically do, but I'm so excited to be heading back down to the mountains. So today I'm going to share all of my favorite things to do while we're in the Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville area. So this is going to be a fun little travel vlog. I'm so excited to go back down. Taylor and I and the kids went in the fall and that was super fun. We stayed in a little A-frame cabin up in the mountains. It was a very steep drive, but the leaves were beautiful and we had so much fun. We went to Ober Mountain, which was really fun. We're only there a few days, so we kind of just stayed in the cabin, relaxed, ate some good food, and it kind of got a feel for the area. We hadn't been since I was in high school, so it had been a long time. And now we are going back. It's January, so we're gonna have a little bit different climate while we're there, and we'll find some fun things to do inside since it's gonna be too cold for little ones to travel outside. And this time is fun because my family is coming with us. So my mom and dad, my brother and sister-in-law, and my grandma and grandpa. Taylor was planning on coming with us, but unfortunately we are having some horrible weather here at home, like crazy low temperatures, and with his job, he got called in and he's gonna have to stay around the clock working, making sure nothing gets broken. He works in the gas department at a utility company, so they've got to keep the gas running. So unfortunately, he's not gonna be able to come with us, but that's okay. We're gonna make the most of it, and I'll have lots of help with the kiddos. So it's gonna be a really fun trip, and I can't wait to take you guys along with us. Follow me over on Instagram. I'm gonna be sharing all of the things that we do this weekend, and I'll save it to a Gatlinburg highlight. That way, if you're ever traveling in the area and you want some recommendations, I'll have all of our favorite things in there. Let's go head to the mountains. We made it to the cabin at about 4:30 in the evening on Friday night, and I wanted to show you guys a little home tour of the house that we stayed at, and I'll link it down below in the description box if you would ever like to stay. There are several homes with this exact layout that I'll link down below, but oh my goodness, this was a dream stay, truly. First you have the house, and then off of the house you had this amazing outdoor dining area with a large table, these bed swings, outdoor fireplace, and you guys, this view was incredible. Truly, it was absolutely stunning, and the drive getting up here was not bad at all. It wasn't super steep, and this house had great parking, so you could get in and out easily, so that was important. Now let's head underneath the pavilion, and now we're going to enter in the pool house, which was so fun. This could be used all year round. In the summer, in the winter, it was like 30 degrees outside, but this pool house was so warm. I think it was 80 in here. The water was warm, and we swam in it every single night, so that was a huge bonus. Now let's head into the main house. This house had tons of windows, which made you feel like you were outside, truly in the woods. It had a large kitchen, fully stocked with anything you could need. It also had a large dining table and living room that was all open, which was so nice. I love an open layout. This is where we gathered in the evenings and were able to play games and talk and have morning coffee by the fire. And then off of the main living area, there was this beautiful porch that had 2 swings on it and a dining room table. Oh, can you imagine having dinner out here in the fall? It would be so beautiful. So the first floor had 4 bedrooms off of that main living area, and they all had king size beds in them. Beautiful wood detail woodwork throughout the entire house. It truly felt like a cabin home. Very nice showers. It was super clean. It also had beach towels, which were great for the pool. So absolutely loved it. It was so cozy, and really all the rooms looked pretty well the same, but they had amazing views. So now let's head downstairs to the basement, and this was so fun because it had a ping pong table. It had another full living area with games and stuff. We played quite a few games in here in the evenings, and it was just a lot of fun. And then again, you had 3 rooms that had king size beds down here, and there was a bunk room that had 2 sets of bunk beds, and then one of the bathrooms had a bathtub in it. And there may have even been 2 bathrooms with a bathtub. Don't hold me to that. And then there was also a washer and dryer, so we were able to wash our clothes while we were there. Off of the basement, there was a hot tub and more seating, and then it led to the pool house. It was truly such a beautiful home. Good morning, friends from the Smoky Mountains. We just got in last night. We had to make a little quick grocery trip run. I'm getting ready for the day now. I'm gonna be taking you along with me this weekend as we are in Gatlinburg. We're gonna try out some new things, some new restaurants, and I'll share a little roundup of all the things that we end up doing and liking. So anyways, we got settled in last night, and then we went and just ordered pizza for dinner. We're staying in Sevierville this time. It's not super steep of a mountain. Like when we stayed in Gatlinburg, when we got up to the cabin, it was such a straight up haul, and it was super nerve-wracking, especially with kids. So this time I'm thankful it's not near as bad. Called in pizza at Papa Leone's, I think that's how you say it. It was just a little pizza shop, local, down the road, and it was so good. We really liked it. And then my brother and Brooks got in the swimming pool last night. They got to do that while the girls went and got pizza and ran and got some groceries. We ended up going to a little grocery store and got some groceries, and then came back in, got settled. It's gonna be such a fun time. I know the kids are already having a blast. So today we have some loose plans, but we'll see what we end up doing. I think we're going to either go snow tubing indoor. That way we didn't have to bring any like cold weather gear or anything. So we found a place where they have indoor snow tubing all year round, which looks so fun. Brooks is looking forward to that. And then I think we're also going to maybe go to the outlet malls and go shopping. Last time we didn't do that. And today looks like the warmest day out of the days we're gonna be here. And it is an outdoor outlet mall. So I think we're gonna go hit that up. Maybe look for some baby clothes, we'll see. I also really wish they had a maternity store because you guys, I'm getting quite large and quickly. I hit 20 weeks with our little Brayley K on Thursday, and today is Saturday. So I'm 20 weeks and 2 or 3 days. And we had our anatomy scan last week, and that went really well. Getting the kids ready and loaded up, we headed to Pigeon Forge Snow and did some indoor snow tubing. This was so fun. It was very fast. Brooks actually was not a fan, but him and my dad went down. He went down once and he was terrified. So dad went down a few more times, but nonetheless, it was a neat experience. And if you had older kids or teenagers, I think they would love it. After this, we ate lunch at this really cute little diner called Sunliner. This was in Pigeon Forge also, and it was delicious. They had really unique diner food and milkshakes and old cars. Then we did some shopping at the outlet mall, and it was so cold out. We decided not to stay that long and instead headed to Marshall's and TJ Maxx, and that was really fun. While the girls did some shopping, the guys headed to Bass Pro Shop and looked around there, and then we met up at the local goat for dinner, and this was my favorite meal of the trip. I did have to make a reservation about a month ahead, but I got a pork chop with some apples and onions on top, mashed sweet potatoes and broccoli. It was fantastic. And then Kailyn was done for the night, so we headed out to the car a little bit early before everyone else, and then headed back to the cabin. The next morning we woke up, we had some donuts and oatmeal and eggs and toast and enjoyed breakfast together and coffee. Then we got ready for the day. First stop was the Ripleys Aquarium in downtown Gatlinburg. This was our first time ever going, and it was amazing. We were able to buy tickets online and save 20% off of each ticket, which adds up when you have a large group, and I highly recommend stopping here if you have kiddos. It was fun for all of us. We were able to see sharks and birds and all kinds of rainforest animals. Brooks absolutely loved it. He loves the show Octonauts and has for years, so he knew a lot of the animals, and it was just really fun getting to experience this. They had this conveyor belt you could stand on and go through this tunnel that had tons of sharks in it, and it was really interesting. We've never seen certain sharks like this, like the saw shark and the hammerhead. There were some really big ones, so Brooks was in awe, and we ended up spending a good few hours here. After the aquarium, we were quite hungry, so we walked downtown Gatlinburg and ended up at Smith & Son, and we had some really great barbecue and fried pickles for appetizers and sweet potato fries. It was delicious. Highly recommend if you are downtown and needing somewhere to eat. We also just love to people watch and get some good sunshine. Then we headed over to the Smoky Mountains entrance to do some hiking. We actually stopped at Cataract Falls. This is an easy trail that I was able to take the stroller on. It was great if you have older people in your group. We were just exploring. You get to see a little waterfall and walk along a beautiful stream and see all of the beautiful trees and scenes. It is truly stunning. It's so beautiful all time of the year too. There's something about being out in nature that you just want to do, especially while you're here in the mountains. And then we drove around the Great Smoky Mountain National Park a little bit. We didn't have to pay for a parking pass since we didn't ever stop, but we did enjoy the views. We all worked up a sweet tooth, so we stopped at Ben & Jerry's at the outlet mall before heading back to the cabin and calling it a night. We ended up just eating leftover pizza that we had for dinner, and the boys went swimming, and we rounded out the trip with a really fun night before heading out back home in the morning. Okay, we are back home from our trip. It's now the following Wednesday, and we had such a great time at the mountains. Our house was incredible. Truly, the views were amazing. So beautiful. I can't even imagine what it would look like during the fall season. It would be stunning. We also tried out a few new restaurants. Like I said, the local goat was delicious. That was probably my personal favorite meal. The only thing is you have to make a reservation way ahead of time. Last time we didn't make it in time and we weren't able to get in at all. Like from the moment they opened to the moment they close, it was completely booked. So this time I booked it, I think a month and a half in advance, and we were able to get in on a Saturday night at 5 o'clock, which is very rare, I feel like, for them. So whenever we were planning on leaving Pigeon Forge, we knew on that day we could potentially get some snow, and we kept checking the forecast and they kept moving the snow up. So by the time it was all said and done, the snow was calling for like a day ahead while we were still there, and we were so nervous that we were gonna get stuck on the mountain in the snow. We were like, when should we leave? Should we leave early? Should we wait? We weren't really sure. We also had seen where Nashville, Tennessee had been getting a ton of snow, but it was kind of hard to see how much they were getting when we were supposed to be driving through then. So we decided to leave early the next day and just see if the snow was bad enough. We would just stay put in the cabin. But if it wasn't, then we would go ahead and try to beat the snow and at least get out of Knoxville, because that is a super busy area and I definitely didn't want to drive through there if it was snowing and icing and all the things. We ended up leaving at 6 a.m. on Monday morning and left. We were able to get down the mountain. We got out through Knoxville, but as we were getting closer and closer to Nashville, we realized that they had gotten so much snow so much earlier than they were planning on it. We were like, okay, we may have to stop. And the closer we got to Nashville, the worse it got, like quick. And it got to the point on the interstate where we couldn't see the lines at all on a 3-way highway. And it was extremely slick. It was coming down snow like crazy, and it was also like 12 degrees. Everything was just freezing, and it was so slick, and people were driving crazy. There were semis just picking a spot on the road and plowing through, fishtailing all over. There were so many cars along the side of the road, all bumped into each other that you could see just stranded on the side of the road. We've got to pull over. We've got to find somewhere. We're not gonna be able to go home today. So luckily we pulled off on an exit in Nashville, and we realized we were 10 minutes from the Gaylord Opryland Hotel, and we knew that they had restaurants in there. So if we were stuck there, we could at least have access to food and wouldn't have to get out. Made it to the hotel, thank the Lord, and everything was fine, and we were able to get a room in Opryland, and it all worked out. But we ended up staying in Opryland. We got there about noon or so, and we just made the most out of it. We were able to get lunch. A lot of the restaurants were actually closed in Opryland because workers couldn't get there. Took the kids to the pool and stuff. We were gonna go to their water park that they had in there, but since we had gotten there a little bit later, and by the time we actually got down to the pool, it was like, I don't know, 2:30 or so. But if we went again, we would definitely check out the water park. But we just were able to walk around. Breland took a nap in her stroller, walked around with her. It all worked out, and it ended up being like it was the best place we could have been in that situation. We went to bed. The next morning, they had cleared the interstate enough. There was like 2 lanes that were open. The rest was pretty snowy, but it all worked out. We made it home safely, and it was honestly such a good trip. Like I said, I'll link the house below that we stayed at. Or ever going to that area, hopefully this video will give you some ideas on where to go, where to eat, where to stay. And like I said, check out my Instagram because I'll have a highlight saved of some of the things that we did. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon in my next video. Bye, friends.